The Yankees have gone from World Series contender to fourth in the division and also fighting it out for a wild card spot. And it doesn't help that Brian Cashman's only deals at the deadline were for Keenan Middleton and Spencer Howard. For a team that's battled injuries and also struggled with offensive production, you would have thought that he would have gone out and gotten some sort of bat or even some sort of pitching depth at the starting pitching, I mean. But he settled for two bullpen pieces, which the bullpen has been the strength of the Yankees all year. And like I said, injuries and poor performances from Carlos Rodon, Domingo Herman, Frankie Montas, and Nestor Cortez have made it pretty difficult for the starting rotation. And offensively, you've had Judge out, Stanton out, Rizzo is now out with a head injury, and a few others who just really haven't been stepping up to the plate. And I'm not saying the Yankees season is over. They definitely still have the talent to make it to the postseason. I think it's just going to be a really tough run with the lack of starting pitching depth, and also just the bats haven't been consistent throughout the season. So it's time for me to take over the Yankees and fix them. I'm going to start the rebuild in the offseason because I feel like in real life, the Yankees can only salvage their season with the World Series. I feel like the playoffs, it's not good enough. And I feel like for this one, first season's basically over, right? We're past the trade deadline. It's time to head to the offseason and think what we can do with this team moving forward. And I think the first order of business is getting Domingo Herman off the team. I feel like, yes, you keep him within the organization so he can get the help that he needs. But when it comes to his days playing in those pinstripes in Yankee Stadium, I feel like those days have got to be over, and I think it's done. It's time to release him. In terms of the free agents, Severino's one of those weird ones where like you could give him a 1-year prove-it deal, but you could also let him walk. I don't think Severino's a bad pitcher. I just think because of the injuries that have piled up, it's been hard for him to get back into a rhythm. And sometimes he does look good and other times he looks terrible. So that's why I think that 1-year prove-it deal could happen. But at the same time, like I might consider letting him walk. Harrison Bader's another one of those things where injuries have kind of held him back a little bit. But at the same time, the offensive production when healthy isn't really there. And I know he's mostly known for his defense, but I feel like in a team that needs that offense, maybe Harrison Bader's not the right move. Frankie Montas has just been injured all the time. So again, he's another one of those where like I could see them just letting him go. And then IKF's an interesting one because I feel like he wouldn't ask for that much money, and having him as a defensive replacement or just a platoon bat really isn't the worst thing. We have 2 draft picks that I really want to highlight. Paul Webster, mid-70s potential and already mid-70s, so he probably won't grow too much more, but there's a chance we can maybe use him out of the bullpen. And then the other one was Peter Felice, who was our first round pick. I got him later on in the first round. Switch hitter, 6'2", can play the outfield, decent speed, decent hitting stats. I think this guy might feature. So I'm going to get rid of DJ LeMahieu, not because I think like he's going to be bad this coming season. I just think he's going to be bad the next year, which is going to be an issue because 15 mil for a player that I probably won't use too much moving forward. I'd rather save that money. And he didn't have a bad season this year. It's just like I can't expect him to continue to do well, right? So like I need to get the money off the books and spend that money somewhere else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trade him to the Reds for Tony Santiana and Scott Ashton, 2 relievers who don't cost too much money, have C potential, so they should at least get into the 70s and could help us out a little bit if we really need an arm. But essentially it was a salary dump, so we'd have a little bit more money to play with. Because instead of the 80 million that I had or the 88 million that was available in the budget, now we have over 100, and with pending offers over 60 million from arbitration and tendered contracts, I knew I would need to like open up some space. So looking at the team, I definitely need at least one pitcher to help us out moving forward. If it's Ohtani, if it's Urias, Snell, Nola, Giolito, someone like that, I definitely think we need at least one. Third baseman's a little interesting. I could go a little safe option with Jeimer Candelario, who's not going to cost a lot, and I should at least get a decent season out of him. Max Muncy for the power option, or I could go for the good defensive option with the decent hitting stats in Matt Chapman, who I know will definitely hold it down for at least the majority of the rebuild. And then in center field, because I didn't bring back Harrison Bader, I think going for someone like a Cody Bellinger would work. In real life, he's having an absolutely insane season. And for a guy that we could potentially move to the infield to play first base once Rizzo leaves and Jason Dominguez gets called up, I feel like that flexibility is nice. But to have him at center field to start with, I think that'd be a smart move. But let's start this first year and let me show you who we've added to the squad. All right, so our first season, first pickup, Blake Snell, 88 overall. Not the best of years last year, and normally I call him Blake Snell in MLB The Show, but we'll see what he can do. It was a 3-year deal, backloaded with a team option on that last year. So if things don't go well, we can let him go, save us a little bit of money, we'll be okay. And that was it in terms of pitching. I brought back Severino on a 1-year deal for 13 mil. It was a little bit more than I wanted to spend, but at the same time, I feel like if you just give me an okay year, then potentially I'll keep him moving forward. And if things don't go well, then we can get rid of that contract. We can try to find a new player that is potentially cheaper, because we don't necessarily have a lot of like crazy good pitching prospects that are close to being MLB ready right now. Like, they're like high 60s, low 70s, but nobody's like right there to push into the MLB roster just yet. So I feel like we kind of need to rock with what we got. 2 pickups offensively, Matt Chapman being the first one, 30 years old. Again, had like 27 home runs last year, 800 OPS, hoping that he can at least hold his rating for a couple seasons. 14 mil average over the next 5 years. Team option on the last year as well. Again, I feel like a third baseman, good glove, decent hitting stats. He should be good. And then the last one, Cody Bellinger, 4-year deal, super cheap, team option on the last year as well. If he can get close to an 800 OPS and just hold it down, potentially move him to first once Jason Dominguez is ready to take over in center, will be good. Really, the only thing I need to point out is left field. I'm not sold on Oswaldo Cabrera right now. Either I'm looking to do like maybe a platoon situation where we find like a better like Jake Bauers, Billy McKinney, where like it excels hitting righties, and then maybe we let Cabrera hit versus lefties. We could do that platoon situation as well, because like I'm looking and like Spencer Jones is not there just yet. Peter Feliz could potentially be that guy in left field for us. Could do that. Like Jason Dominguez is coming up fairly soon. Pereira is not there. Yeah, it's just like we don't have that like really good righty hitter that we could turn to. So that might be something I look at the deadline. It just really depends on how things shape up. It just depends. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens at the deadline. So right now we're ranked 5th. Contact and power aren't the best, but the pitching looks good. So let's see how we do. All right, so we're going to get Jose Hernandez from the Pirates. Probably one of the best lefties I can get out of the bullpen. That's really what I'm looking for. And because budget's an issue, I can't really acquire a player with a higher salary than the one that I'm trading away. So Esteban Florial is going to be traded. I just don't see him as part of the team moving forward. Like, his stats don't look bad as a guy coming off the bench. I know in real life he's like hitting home runs like crazy in AAA, but I just don't really see him getting into the team for us moving forward. So let's just make this move. It gives me a lefty that I need. So I've been trying to think of a big name that I can acquire for this team, because I feel like you can see we're 4 games out of the division and we're currently at the wild card. We have the 2nd spot, but I feel like it's not good enough. The team ERA looks good. The average is a little low. I feel like we're lacking a little bit offensively. And I'm trying to find like a big name that we can get, that 1, we can acquire, because that's going to be kind of tough. 2, also fits our budget. That's another thing. I got to have a player that, 1, isn't going to become a free agent soon because I'm not going to be able to afford a max contract. But 2, like I can just kind of afford him for the next couple seasons. Because Cody Bellinger, like, he's not having a terrible year, but the power numbers aren't there. The OPS is just really low, and the average on base percentage, he's not really putting up the numbers I was hoping. And then like Judge is having a great year, Stanton's having an okay season, Rizzo, he's having a good year, but there's no power there. So like he's having his on base percentage is okay, the average is pretty solid. It's just no power at all, and he's regressing. So there's that. Chapman's doing fairly well. Cabrera's doing okay. Like, I don't hate what he's putting up. Like, it's definitely not terrible at all. Peraza is going to take over for Glaber, because Glaber, I don't know. I'm just not sold, and he's regressing, and he's a free agent. So I feel like maybe move him in a deal, maybe keep Cabrera. We'll see, but I think Peraza is going to be our new second baseman moving forward. And then catcher, like I said, it's hard to find a good offensive catcher. So I'm not really too worried about that spot. So I was looking around. I was like, do I get a shortstop? And I was like, no, I have Volpe. Do I get a second baseman? I was like, we've got what's his name? Peraza. We could also use Trey Sweeney if we really needed to. So I'm like, I don't really need a second baseman. I was like, we have Chapman at 3rd. Right field is Judge, center is Bellinger or Jason Dominguez moving forward, or we have a couple other outfielders. So I'm like, who could I get? And I was like, okay, let's see if we can find an outfielder. And I was like looking around, right field, left field, right field, checking around center field, seeing if there was anything. And then there was one. And I was thinking about how this team right now, the White Sox are a mess. You've got Tim Anderson fighting J Ram. You got Tim Anderson fighting Yasmani Grandal in the clubhouse. You've got the owners and the GM, and everybody's saying there's an issue within the club and there's this going wrong and that going wrong. This team needs a full rebuild. And I thought, you know what? If they really went full rebuild, Luis Robert would probably get them something pretty big. So I mentioned Glaber, right? And I was like, okay, we're not too far off, but we're still pretty far off. And I was like, man, I'm going to have to trade a piece that I didn't want to trade. And I was like, Jason Dominguez gets us pretty close, but I kind of want to see what he can do. And I was like, would you trade Everson Pereira to make this deal possible? I could trade this guy, couldn't I? Okay. I was like, man, there's got to be somebody else that gets this deal done. It's Oswaldo Cabrera. So I think this has got to be the deal. For Luis Robert, I think I would do it. I would do it. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna leave it there. That is it. That is a big deadline. I could go out and try to get another bullpen arm, but I'm looking at it. I do need to send down Wandy Peralta, but outside of that, I'm pretty comfortable with the pitching as a whole. I don't want to shake it up too much. I feel like that acquisition of Robert was just perfect. So it looks like those moves paid off because we won the division 96 and 66, which is awesome to see. Love it. Perfect. League leaders, Aaron Judge had a crazy good season, so he has to be MVP. Hank Aaron and MVP. Jordan right behind him, along with Corey Seager. On the other side, it's going to be Pete Alonso, O'Neal Cruz, and Fernando Tatis. Okay, interesting names. Gallen with Hunter Green and Braxton Garrett. Like Gallen, I could see Hunter Green when healthy is like one of the better pitchers in baseball. Braxton Garrett has had some pretty good stretches this year, so okay. And then DeGrom, McClanahan, and Valdez. Shane McClanahan potentially needing a pretty big surgery, which would suck for the Rays. The Rays just seem like every pitcher just blows out their arm. What is going on there? You've got Verdugo and Bogarts winning the batting title. Reliever of the year goes to Alzolay and Pete Fairbanks. And then rookie of the year is Wade Meckler. That looks like Davis Schneider. That's Davis Schneider. Dude, like that's exactly who that is. Also, what a great name. Is that a real player? It is. Wade Meckler is part of the Giants organization, and he still is rocking the stash. Good for Wade. And then Garrett Mathis, the potential first baseman, had a pretty good season. Pretty good season. Do the Blue Jays have Davis Schneider? Is he even on this roster? That's probably something else that I should know, but I don't. But speaking of rosters, I'm still using the draft roster that I use. I just edited all the trades, so like I don't have like an up-to-date trade roster besides the one that I'm using. So like if you want this one in the vault, I can put it there for you, or I can continue to look for one that's currently in the vault. It's just like I haven't really sat down and looked just yet. So for roster questions, there you go. But now we're back. Let's take a look at our team. I'm assuming we're looking okay. Johnny Lasagna cannot be on the squad. He just can't be. He was terrible this year. Let's get Jose Hernandez back into the team. Let's send down the Loizaga. That's his name. And hold on, who else? Oh, Wandy. Why is Wandy on the team? That means we have somebody that needs to be called back up. But who am I missing? Hold on. All right, we got it. So Clark Schmidt, long reliever, held it down nicely. Crazy ERA, really good whip. That's exactly where I'm going to have him. He's our long reliever. No doubt about it. Tommy Kahnle, great season once again, even better than last year. Thing is, he's regressing, so realistically I probably won't bring him back, but you know what, he held it down, did exactly what we needed. Ron Marinaccio, yeah, half the innings, but was good. I can't complain about that. Scott Efros came up, only got 14 innings, but he did the job. Jose Hernandez, yeah, I told you, like one of the better lefties you can get, 100%. Clay Holmes, solid, love it. He was struggling in the closer role. I moved him to the setup role. He went from like a 4.5 ERA to a 3.5, perfect. And then Michael King was lights out. Starters, we've got Garrett Cole. Yep, give me more of that, always. Carlos Rodon is regressing a little bit, but he's still putting up some really good numbers, so I like to see that. Blake Snell, better than last year, so I'll take it. He's not really improving too much more, so realistically next year it might be his last year. That's what I was worried about. That's why I only gave him a 3-year deal. But you know what? I can work with that, especially when the rest of the pitchers around him are doing so well. I think one pitcher with the 4 ERA isn't the worst, and it's not like he was terrible. It wasn't great, but he wasn't terrible. So you know what? I'll take it. Pretty strong rotation. Love to see it. Offensively, though, we definitely need a little bit better of a bench. Like Franchi was cool in his 13 at-bats, but like outside of that, not too many that we can rely on heavily, which is kind of like the issue with the Yankees right now. Like we had IKF, and that was really about it. So we need to sort out the bench. Maybe see if we have anybody down here that I've added. I've added this guy from free agency. He might be an option to help us out at first base, but he kind of looks like what we already have. So I guess maybe Trey Sweeney gets an opportunity soon. Jason Dominguez is someone that I'm looking, not just yet though, those hitting stats need to be a little bit better, but let's take a look at our starters. Volpe, better than last year, so I'll take it. Cody Bellinger, not as good as I was hoping. I need him to be better. You got Aaron Judge, who was unbelievable. 50 homers, the on-base percentage is at 423, 204 hits, like insane. Stanton improved this year, even though his numbers were slightly worse in terms of like on-base percentage and average, but he did put up 37 home runs, so I'm not upset. Robert, love to see those numbers. Rizzo, like I said, the power numbers were lower than last year, actually, yeah, he turned it up towards the end of the year. Average on base percentage and slugging. OPS obviously is going to go up too. All right. I don't know what to do with him though, because like the power is going to be gone. So maybe if I can get him on a cheap deal, bring him back for the bench. Matt Chapman was fantastic. Love to see that 31 home runs in the 7 spot. It's crazy. Peraza, not a bad season at all. Got 100 games, got 340 at bats. We'll definitely hope to see him improve as we move forward. And then, like I said, catcher, I might bring back Trevino. Higashioka, I like versus lefties, so I might keep one of them, but we'll have to wait and see what we do. I would like to get somewhat better at the catcher spot. Rortvet doesn't really give me confidence yet. I guess we could go Wells Higashioka combo, because Wells looks like he hits righties pretty well. What's he up to? Okay. All right. I got an idea. I've got an idea. But postseason time, we are taking on the Twins. Oh, okay. So that happened. Nestor, no disrespect, but I need Cole there, and it worked. All right, cool. So now we're gonna have Rodon, Snell, Sever. Actually, I might go like that, and hope it works. So let's see. We got Rodon. We lose. We win the second though. Cole, Severino, 2-2. Oh no, Rodon. We lose to the Rangers, and you know what? That's tough. Like, we didn't really score much, huh? We didn't score. Like, no runs, 1 run, 2 runs. That's not good enough. We gotta be better. So it's gonna be the Rangers and the Braves in the World Series. Let's get to the second season as the Braves win the World Series. It's time to boost this team up. We clearly need a little bit of help. A little bit, not too much though. I think we're in a good spot. So Severino was good. I just don't know if I want to offer him a long-term deal. Clay Holmes, I think, is another one where I can do like a 1 or 2 year thing. Oh man, he's gonna want a lot of money, and I don't have a lot of money. You can see I have 86 in the budget. I still got tender contracts. I still got to go through arbitration. We might be in some trouble. Higashioka. Oh man, realistically, I don't know who to turn to, but I'm thinking if we're looking to change this team up, I think Dominguez still needs at least another season before he can come up to the majors. So Bellinger probably stays in center field. Realistically, the only position I'm not 100% sold on right now is Rizzo. I don't know what to do with Rizzo. And then pitching wise, Severino, if I can get him back for like 13-ish mil, I'd do it. But outside of that, I feel like we're pretty good. So potentially a starter, potentially a first baseman. All right, season 2, I'm acquiring just Matt Vierling. I know it sounds crazy. I just need a backup outfielder that isn't too expensive. Like, hitting stats don't look too bad. He's been pretty bad the previous seasons, but like I said, I literally just need a backup outfielder. So let's talk about our additions. We've got Scott Barlow, 1-year deal, 6 mil. Really good season last year as a setup guy. So I thought for a season, yeah, let's do it. And then Luis Severino turned us down. I think he went to the Guardians. He did. He went 5 years, 11 mil. I offered him 3 years. I think it was 13 mil each year. So he went for the longer deal in the long run. So instead, I took the Guardians pitcher that they chose instead of this guy. No, that's not right. So I took the guy that they didn't choose, and they chose Severino instead of this guy. That's what I wanted to say. But yeah, 15 mil, so it was a little bit more expensive than what Severino was looking for, but I could barely squeeze it in the budget. And I thought Shane Bieber's he's got a track record. He's a good pitcher. Let's get him into the team. Other than that, that's the pitching staff. Everything else is the same. Offensively, we were able to bring back Gleyber Torres on a cheaper deal than what he was on last year, 9 mil. I think as a bench bat versus righties or lefties, either one, I think he's pretty good. Yeah, 9 mil is quite expensive for a bench bat. But you know what? He was available. This is like the Chapman trade. We trade Chapman to the Cubs, and Chapman comes back in the offseason. We trade Gleyber to the White Sox. Gleyber's back after the offseason. And then obviously Matt Vierling. And then I was able to bring back Rizzo as a bench bat. And you're probably thinking, well, if you're bringing Rizzo for a bench bat, who's playing first base? Let me show you. Anthony Santander. Yes, he was with the Twins last year. And it looks like he was with the Twins the previous season too. It looks like he got traded. But coming off of 2 seasons of 26 or more home runs is pretty impressive. So for $6.5 million, yeah, I'm gonna take it. Switch hitter, can play first base. Yeah, that's my move. And that's it. That was it. Austin Wells is our new catcher, so we're gonna see how that goes. And then versus lefties, he is also going to be our catcher. I let Higashioka walk because I didn't realize Higashioka was 34 years old. So that's why he's gone. Trevino can be the backup 100%. And this is going to be versus lefties. Probably Trevino, but I'm gonna move some things around. 68, 81. I might just leave it like that. And then, ooh, I kind of want to split up this big old string of righties right here. So maybe I go Robert 2, but I want Stanton there. So maybe that's still just a lot of righties to start it off with. Maybe like that. I don't really like that because I want Stanton a little bit higher, but I guess that works. And then I guess versus righties, I could maybe move some things around too. Let's see here. I don't know. I'll probably leave it like that versus righties. So that'll be the team. What are we ranked? 3rd, 11th contact, 4th power, 1st pitching. Okay. Defense, I think we got worse, but I think we'll be all right. Again, we won the division 97-65, and no trades were made at the deadline. We were actually running away with the division. We were doing really well. And I felt like we could just maybe shift some players from AAA, call them up. We'll shift some players from the major league roster, send them down. And as you can see, Carlos Rodon was pretty good pitching wise, and Aaron Judge had the most walks, but no awards. Mike Trout ends up winning the MVP. So it's just been Trout, Judge, Trout. Okay, so maybe next year it'll be Judge. Juan Soto, 58 homers. Holy cow, that's pretty good. 151 RBIs. Woo. With the Diamondbacks also. Spencer Strider is the Cy Young winner along with Framber Valdez. Rendon and Harper are the batting title winners. And Alzolay, back-to-back reliever of the years along with Jordan Hicks, now with the Royals. Ooh. Andy Pages now with the Twins. Austin Wells just missed out on the Rookie of the Year. And then Frank Chacin looks like a really good hitter. Wow. Keep my eye on him. All right. Pitching-wise, no. All right, so Clark Schmidt looks like we've kind of capped at what he's going to do potential-wise, growth-wise, and didn't have as good of a year. Like more home runs, less walks though, which is pretty good, but you can kind of see ERA definitely went up, but the whip kind of stayed the same. Ron Marinaccio kind of regressed, which is really unfortunate to see because this was someone I was kind of banking on moving forward, but I don't know how much faith we can put into him moving forward. Scott Efros is also regressing, so it might be a bullpen overhaul fairly soon, but again, was really, really good, so I can't complain. Scott Barlow was solid. Yeah, the whip's a little bit high, but we can look past that. And then Jose Hernandez, like I said, just a really good lefty to have. Clay Holmes struggled, but Michael King held it down. Love to see it. So I might take Clay Holmes out of this role, and we might go with Barlow instead. Starters, Garrett Cole was once again really, really good. Carlos Rodon, same thing, really strong. So there we go. Give him a full season to get healthy again. You're good to go. Shane Bieber wasn't as good as previous seasons, but was still really strong. So 1, 2, 3, love to see it. Blake Snell back on track. Perfect. We've got a really, really, really strong rotation. All 5 pitchers were really good this year. Love to see it. And then looking at the lineup, you can see Stanton got benched. He was atrocious. So bad. Glaber had 180 at bats. Was okay. Kind of what he normally does. So yeah, there's that. But Stanton down to a 79 was just atrocious. So I had to bench him. And because of that, someone got called up. IKF, yeah, that's kind of what I expect. Jose Trevino, not terrible, just no pop. And then Rizzo was decent off the bench, kind of looking more for his leadership than anything else. Volpe continues to develop, which is what I like to see, and close to an 800 OPS, pretty solid in the leadoff role. Cody Bellinger, it looks like this is like the best I'm going to get out of him, which is super disappointing. Really disappointing. I was really hoping for something good. Like, he's improving. Like, you can see the overall, everything is going up. But, like, what the heck? Aaron Judge was really good once again. Luis Robert, kind of similar to what he did. Few less home runs, so there's that. Chapman's potential went up, and he had a pretty okay season. Slugging went way down. 19 home runs compared to 31 the year before, but you know what? I will take it. Santander had a good season, almost 30 home runs, so we've got a strong lineup, and here he is. The Martian got called up. Didn't have the best of years, but he's still improving, so we're gonna be fine. And then Peraza also wasn't fantastic, so there's that. And then Austin Wells was second in the Rookie of the Year, which I think this is a pretty good season. This is a pretty strong season from a catcher, so I'm pretty happy with that. I mean, it all comes down to the postseason. Who are we facing? Either the Angels or the Rangers. And I know the Angels don't have Shohei anymore, so let's go see what they have with their team. They've got Margot, Rendon, Trout, Ward, Kendall. I mean, offensively, we should blow this team out of the water. Urias Giolito Detmer, Sandoval, and Canning, I feel like this is a team we got to beat. So here we go. Cole versus Urias. And how do we not have a full lineup? Okay, now we're good. Win the first, win the second. Like I said, we were going to get past them. No problem. The Rays, who are second in the division, let's go take a look at their lineup. They are this way. Wander, I mean, yeah, this is a more competitive team. This is definitely a more competitive team. Taj Bradley, Rasmussen, McClanahan, yeah, this one's going to be tough. This one's going to be tough. So let's rearrange the rotation. I mean, do I just go Nestor as the odd one out and start it off with Snell? I feel like they hit lefties better though. So I feel like that's not the move. Let's see here. Lefty. I feel like, yeah, they definitely hit lefties better. Let's see. Yeah, they definitely hit lefties better. So I feel like maybe we're in trouble. that just might be the situation. We have 3 lefties in the rotation, but you know what? We're going to have to rock with it, I think. Could I go like that? Could I go like that and just go back to what we had? I think that's what I'm gonna have to do. All right, let's see if it backfires. I hope it doesn't. We lose one of the first 2, which isn't the worst, but we win the third, we win the fourth. Nestor, I needed you to close that out, but we win it anyways. We're taking on the Diamondbacks in the World Series. What? The Diamondbacks. Perdomo, oh yeah, they have Soto. That's right. And Nolan Jones. Okay, Lars Nootbaar, interesting team. Pitching wise, they brought in Urquidy. We gotta win this. They beat the Braves though, and the Cubs. Okay, they were a wild card team. Ooh, okay. So pitching wise, I feel like we're right back to the start of the rotation, right? So I might go like that. So it's gonna be Bieber, Rodon, Cole, and then we go Snell, Nestor. I think that's what I want, 100%. And then anybody doing really bad in the lineup that I need to take out, Robert, I need you to step it up. Jason Dominguez with the 400 average. I like that. So here we go. Uh-oh. Not a good start. All right, we win that one. We're 1 away. Come on, let's close it out. We are on the road, which is unfortunate. Wish it could be at Yankee Stadium, but Yankees fans will travel. I have faith. So I'm trying to think. They do have a lot of lefties. So maybe Rodon into like a Bieber situation. Like that's what I want, right? Because they have Perdomo, McCarthy, Soto, Carroll, Walker. Ooh, is that what I want? I think so. We'll rock like that, and we'll just hopefully it works out. Hopefully it works out. Not a good start though. But we get the okay. I thought that stolen base was gonna come back to hurt us. I really did. And they have Gallen on the mound. This is a tough matchup. This is gonna be a tough one for sure. We're gonna have to be on our A game. Hopefully limit the runs. Cody Bellinger has been so bad, and he turns it around. Love to see it. There we go. Let's see what we can do here. A single gets out of it. There we go. We need more. I need insurance runs. That's not good. Can't be giving them free base runners. Bases loaded here. It's a string of lefties coming up. Do I stick with it? And we get out of it. That's it for Rodon. 5 innings. Perfect. Love to see it. The double. Let's get the sac fly. There we go. We got it done. All right, we'll take him out. Another string of lefties is coming up. So let's go Hernandez here. I have faith in him. He allows the runner. Okay, so we'll take him out. We've got the bullpen. They're looking fresh. We're looking good. We'll go Efros here. He allows a single, but he gets out of it. There we go. Still got that 2-run lead. Double. Austin Wells. There we go. And we're looking good. And then they've got like 400 lefties again. And we don't have any more lefties available unless I go to Nestor to get us through this string of lefties, which I might do. Like have him close it out. I'm gonna do it. I'm regretting doing it. Maybe. We got to get that insurance run back. Judge just got our back with a double. Runners on the corner. Double play. Hate to see it. Okay. Nestor. Let's do it. 1-run score. It's not ideal. Ground out. Error. Love it. But the double play. He gets it done. Into the 9th. Here we go. Michael King. I need you on your A game. A strikeout. A hit by pitch. Oh boy. A fly out. Juan Soto was up. Corbin Carroll could walk it off here. Pinch runner. 2-run score. Tie ball game. Corbin Carroll. And they walk it off. I should have left Nestor in. It's okay. They wanted to win it at home on a rainy day. Garrett Cole, take the mound. Let's do it. Let's do it. Ah, boy. Garrett Cole, I can't have you be bad. Against Jose Urquidy, the former Astro, we need it. There we go. Robert with the double. And now we're back in it. We're back in it. 1-1 tie ball game. We're going to steal second here into scoring position. We got to score those runs. We got to score those runs clearly, because 5 runs last game wasn't enough. Luis Robert in the clutch, 2 for 2 on the day. All right, Garrett Cole looks like he's locked in. I like that. I like that. We got to get another run. Peraza delivers 3-1. We're looking solid. Garrett Cole, 1, 2, 3 inning. Jose Urquidy's lasted a lot longer than I thought he was going to, which is disappointing. I was kind of hoping we would have put up like 12 runs. What didn't happen. Dre Jameson's coming in. I don't think that's enough. I think we're going to need some more runs. So I need the team to pick it up here. And a double by Bellinger. Judge gets hit. And Robert. I mean, Chapman, I need you here. Brings in 1. All right, that's fine. We at least got 1. And if a base runner gets on, I'm gonna go to somebody else. Hernandez is full and ready to go versus the lefties. Just what I needed. And now it's our turn to just extend the lead. Perfect. Austin Wells once again delivering when we need him to. Aaron Judge, you know how loud Yankee Stadium would be right now if that just happened in the bottom of the 8th to open it up to 8-1. It would be electric. It would be so loud. I'm gonna let Jose Hernandez close it out. And you know what? Let's go watch them lift that trophy. So here we go. It comes down to Nolan Jones, who's 0 for 2 with Jose Hernandez on the mound, who's only had 11 pitches. That's a strike. Come on. 1-1 count. Nolan Jones fouled it off. Let's see here. Is this going to be the last pitch of the game? No. Another foul ball. 1-2 down to their final strike. What is it gonna be? Can they do it? Is it gonna end here? There we go. Yankees World Series champion. So there it is. The World Series for the New York Yankees. It only took us 2 seasons, but I feel like we made the right moves, and I feel like moves that actually weren't too crazy. So there it is. I hope you enjoyed the Yankees rebuild. If you did, thumbs up down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and enjoyed the content, and of course in the comment section down below, let me know what team is next.